Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial. It's going to be how to configure the ePSXe Emulator ePSXe for playing games with multiple soundtracks, because I realized that a lot of people are having issues with this and there doesn't seem to really be any fixes for it on like YouTube or any of those, and people seem to always be struggling with it. So I decided that I'd put a small video together on how to explain it and whatnot, and what you need to do to get games like Street Fighter Alpha, I think it is, that's on 2 discs, and Wu-Tang Shaolin style to get the soundtrack to play. Oh, and I'll also explain if people end up getting the like screen where no gameplay will show what's wrong with it and what you need to change. So let's get straight into this. Basically, when you install the emulator, not only do you need all the plugins to get it to work and BIOS so that it will load, one of the most important things you need to remember is underneath the options tab, there's a thing that says GPU overclocking, sorry. And it says 1 times 1.5, 2, 3, 4. Basically what that means is when and I'll show you on this. No, not that one. There we go, it says it there. Basically, you just need to set that to 1 times, and then when you've set up all the plugins and stuff, as soon as you run the game, it will load. Now I can cancel that. But yeah, under there is options, and you just need to set those. When you first boot this up, you'll have a thing called Wizard Guide, and it will basically try to guide you through all the things. The most important thing to remember is to make sure that all the plugins are in the plugins folder. So what that means is, here we go, there's a folder called plugins and there's everything there. Make sure that they're in there. Try and keep it all together, just like making it clear cut and easier to find it. And then yeah, you can either use the wizard guide, but for this, what you need to do is go to video, make sure that you've got that one if possible. Those are the settings that I use because it's just easier. But yeah, hang on, I'll take it so you guys can see that one a little bit easier. Get rid of that. Oh, I hadn't opened the box. There we go, that's the settings that I'm using. The reason I tell it to use the FPS limit sometimes, occasionally if your system's too powerful, you'll end up basically fighting in hyperspeed. And it's like fighting on ultimate turbo mode. It doesn't make playing a game very easy sometimes. But yeah, as long as it's set to that, you want the sound one, and if possible, the sound plugin that you want is, it will load. You want that sound plugin. The Eternal SPU plugin 150. And basically I've left it as all of those, so that way all those games should play the sound. So it's that, so it's that. Oh, sorry, wrong window. Thought it changed, my bad. Sorry. Let's try again. There we go. There we go. Try and make it a little bit. Yeah. Right. Yeah, they're the settings that I use. What that means is, once you've done that, as long as you've got the BIOS and everything else that you need, the most important thing to remember is if you've got an ISO file and you want it to run without any issues. You don't want to run the image file or the bin file. The one that you want to run to get the soundtrack to play is either called a Q file or a CCD file. If you run the CCD file, what should happen once this boots? And just, you guys can see it. Wait a second for it to fire up. There we go. Now if I skip to the main menu, you guys can just see. And then I'll show you what happens if you load the only problem with using this graphics plugin, occasionally you'll get a weird grey box. But as you guys can see, the soundtrack's playing. What will happen if you play the image file is, you guys will have already heard it there, but let's reset it anyway, just so that you guys can then see the difference. It eventually catches up. It will take a second. Yeah, the only weird thing is that you'll get a weird box like that happen during loading screens. I haven't managed to figure out whether it's possible to use a different one, but it didn't actually ruin the gameplay. You could see all the cutscenes and everything worked. You just get a weird kind of edge around it occasionally. I don't know why it does that. I have no clue. But yeah, if you guys have noticed, we're on the start screen and there's absolutely no sound whatsoever. That means there will be in-game sound, so the sound of them hitting each other, but there's no music. And that's for any PS1 game that uses a multi-disc. It should work without any issue. You should hear the music. Occasionally with games like Miss Pac-Man was a very good example, so I'll show you guys. Miss Pac-Man tends to have a slightly odd glitch with it. Here we go. So this is what I meant by the Q file. Oh, let me move the window capture, because... No, not that window capture. Is it the top one? That's what I meant by the Q file. You need the Q file. What you might have happen occasionally, and this is just this one. You could use the other graphical settings to make it look prettier, but you probably won't have any sound. This is the only one that I've managed to see actually work well for, honestly. Right, yeah, this is what I meant. The weird sound glitch, and I haven't managed to get rid of it. And I've been trying to work this for at least 3 weeks now, trying to get the glitches out, but the way I see it, it's probably better to have some sound than no sound.
In Pack World, many lands are powered and sustained by the magical gems of virtue.
So there's the sound for that. Because this one has multiple levels, so there's going to be different sounds on it, of course. You can hear the in-game sound. Here we go. If you hit new game, you'll hear what I mean when we get in the level, and then you'll hear it kind of loops, and then doesn't know whether it's going to loop again or... I don't know whether it's sometimes the ISOs and sometimes the things when they're uploaded cause it slightly a bit of an issue. There we go, you guys heard it there. It kind of just dimmed slightly. Oh. There we go, and now it's playing normally again. I think, if I remember correctly, hang on, let me try and change this. Minimize that one for a sec. Go capture the main one. Into exit and reload it again. With this other one, might not require the same. But at least if you guys are having problems with one particular game, you know that the plugin that I mentioned at the start is the one that you... Right, let me try the other one. Don't know one that I need. We'll have to see.
In Pack World.
Right, wait for it to load. Some of them require different ones. It's a bit weird. Oh, that was weird. Right, let me see if... Otherwise, I have to try the other one. But I think this one's gonna make it so that it, like, causes it to turbo run. And essentially, you're gonna... The ghost will literally just run through me. But here we go, you can hear with this one, it's a lot cleaner. So if you don't want music for the menu and just for the in-game, depending if it's a menu that you really dislike. Right, okay, so you guys have seen that. Essentially, let me change this back so that I can show you which one I was using there. The one that I was using there, for a reference, was that one. The sound audio driver, the ePSXe sound audio driver 1.9. And the settings for that, if you only want the in-game sound, that won't work with every game. Like I said, it won't work with Wu-Tang. I tried it with it. Oh, I need to change that one. Nope. Where's that card? That one. So that's the settings that I used. You can change the thing there. But if I remember correctly, I go plugin sound, then change it to that one. Okay. I'll run ISO on the Q file again. That over. Not that one. Wrong win. There should now be audio in both of these, and if I remember correctly, it's pretty balanced. So you should have audio on the menu and on the other one as well. It's just that each of the plugins, as I've tested them, has a different output. Unfortunately, I wasn't exactly where I tweaked so many of them. There we go. You've got sound there. You've got sound in the cutscenes. And you should also have sound in the game when you get in the level. Bum, bum, bum. So all the sounds are there now. And it will just play on a continuous loop till you finish the level. Then it will change. Because each of the levels has a different soundtrack from what I remember. So it even does the hit damage. Plays this in full sequence. And it will even, if I skip to the next bit and just so you guys can see it. Skip that bit. Push the block. If I get the first fruit item so you guys can hear the sound. There we go. Same for the extra life. Yeah, so all the sounds are there for that game. But, yeah. I hope the tutorial helps you, and if anyone gets stuck, feel free to leave a comment on this video, and I will try my best to work it out for you. Oh, that one. That one. That one. And yeah, leave a comment on the video, and I'll try and get my best to figure it out and see if I can get you a fix. And I hope that this solves the majority of your emulator issues. If there's an issue with frame rate skipping, I would attempt, depending on the graphical plugin that you're using, possibly setting the frame rate limit to like 54 frames, maybe less, Depends on the game you're playing. But especially for Wu-Tang, one of the plugins that I used ended up saying set the frame rate limit to 63. I don't know why 63, it's a really unusual number, because I never knew of actual games in the PS1 era being 63 frames per second, but yeah, maybe it was the game engine that they were using, who knows. But yeah, I hope it helps, and don't forget to like and subscribe if the videos helped you. Take care everybody, till next time.